The 10-day demonstration against economic hardship tagged End Bad Governance protest ended yesterday with a 1 million man march, but with low turnout. In different parts of Nigeria, protesters turned their usual meeting points, which had been occupied by security agents. Organizers of the protest had said the march would signal the end of a 10-day protest. In preparation for the march, security agencies deployed operatives into cities as roadblocks were mounted. Here in Osun State, a group of youths under the aegis of a Take It Back movement held a protest march in Oshobo demanding an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths of some protesters. We're now joined by the news on the news at 7 by Comrade Victor Lijofi, a political activist and unionist. You're welcome on the news at 7.
Thank you.
All right, to start with, the End Bad Governance protest came to a halt yesterday with a so-called 1 million march, but it appears the turnout was really low. What happened?
Yeah, of course, the Bad Governance protest was made to come up between August 1st to August 10th, which is supposed to be a 10 days protest. And here in Osun State, we actually came out from August 1st and through August 6th. And there was a break that was actually announced as a result of the Osun Osogbo festival. And after the festival, we actually came on board on the 10th to actually completed the terrain and period of the protest. Of course, there are a lot of issues, a lot of circumstances that actually led to reductions in the participation of people towards the 10th day of the protest. And one of these is the intimidation of protesters, militarization of the protest ground, among other issues. Of course, what is important to the public is that for the first time, people across the country have been able to come out to make their decision, their demands, you get it, known to governments towards the direction of that the government should end bad governance. Get it? And the protest was massive. I think the protest came up in virtually all the states across the federation, except in 7 states. Get it, including the FCT, and it was peaceful, except for the fact that government actually militarized it, and unfortunately, lives were lost too in the northern part of the country due to attacks of security agencies, both police and the Nigerian army.
All right. If I may ask, what are the protesters actually demanding for?
Of course, the foundational causes of the protest was actually hunger, an increment in price, poverty. Yes, and protesters are coming to say that, okay, what actually signal this era is the removal of the fuel subsidy that was pronounced when during the imagined coming of the president into office, and which actually led to increments in prices of essential commodities. So the people are saying that a lot of people are hungry and they are dying, and that the government should reverse the fuel subsidy removal policy such that the prices of goods would be downward sloped, and also that government should reduce cost of governance in a way that government will have more than enough money to spend on public goods, among other demands.
All right. The fuel subsidy regime was declared as corrupt and unsustainable by the government, hence its removal. Is it not better if such funds are used for other developmental programs?
Of course, subsidy has been a way of government trying to ameliorate poverty, yet in every nation, not just in Nigeria. There have been cases of corrupt practices surrounding the subsidy regime, and the removing the subsidy entirely should not be seen as a solution, because of course it is obvious that removing the subsidy has actually plunged the community into crisis, hunger and starvation. What government should have done was to try and address the issue surrounding the issue of corruption surrounding the subsidy regime and ensure
and not remove it.
Get it, and ensure that the subsidy continues pending the time when our refineries will be fixed and such that there would not be need for us to import petroleum products from outside the country.
I'll quickly take it back to what you said the other time about militarization of the protest and stuff like that. What is your observation about the protest in Osun State? You are in Osun State here. On the 10th day, was there anything like harassment or intimidation?
Of course, on the 10th day, there was no harassment, so to say, physically, but there was some kind of mental intimidation, police trying to play on our intelligence, trying to pretend to give us intelligence information that they have been instructed to dislodge us and things like that, trying to inform us that we shouldn't gather, trying to be, some of the policemen trying to be our friends, to claim to give us secret information that they have been informed to dislodge us. We wouldn't know whether it is true, get it or not, but to a large extent, it goes a long way to create a kind of fear in the mind of people that are actually coming to protest. And that actually led to the drastic reduction in the numbers of people that actually participated. And of course, there is one major issue that was, I actually heard it from the news here, that a member of the Take It Back, who is also a governorship aspirant in Ondo State, that's Kule Ajayi Wiseman, that he was alleged to be a cultist and all of that for protesting. Of course, it's funny. It's one of the men's method of demonizing the protest, method of attacking the protest and ensuring
but
that.
I think they were talking about the insignia on his cap or something like that.
Yes, of course. The Revolution Now beret is popular with the TIB movement, and it is not a secret beret. I get it. And the insignia on the beret is Revolution Now. Revolution as an English word means change. And we have debated this, and even the courts, in the case of Omoyele Sowore and the federal government, has actually said the word revolution is acceptable to be used. And there is a comparable incident, or what is comparable to the CAB. The governor of the state, that's Ayedatiwa himself, launched a movement very recently, and they were actually using a red beret. You get it, that has a close form to that of the revolutionary beret, but different color. Yes, so it is going to be wrong for anybody to tag the governor a cultist. If the governor is being protected by our security agency using such beret with his members of his movement, then Mr. Kule Ajayi Wiseman should also be protected and should not be demonized.
Okay. So many people are questioning it's been 10 days from August 1 to August 10. It's been 10 days. People are questioning the outcome of the nationwide protest. What did you think this demonstration actually achieved?
Of course, the demonstration has actually achieved very greatly. One important achievement of the demonstration is that it has gone a long way in sending signals to the federal government or to government at all level that Nigerians are not happy with the way they are running the country, and that Nigeria expects them to do far better than what we are getting now. Protest is just a component of democracy that the people can use to pass across their intention, their feelings to the government. So this is one of those things that has been achieved. And of course, another achievement is that despite the various attacks on the protest, various intimidations and all of that, sponsor of thuggery against the protest, the people were determined to continue with the protest, and we actually completed the 10 days of the protest. Then it is also to show to government that the people now have actually completed the 10 days of protest, that the government should address the issues. Because you look at this speech gave by the president of the country recently during the protest, the speech does not in any way address the real issues raised in the protest. So it is a signal to the government that the real issues should be addressed. It should not be taken for granted, because such a protest is also imminent in the future if the issues are not addressed.
All right, so you made lots of demands. As an activist, do you see any solution in sight very soon?
Of course, what we actually need as people, or let me say our leaders, what they actually need is the will to do the biddings of the people. There is nothing impossible. Leaders are actually squandering money, a lot of money on things that are not necessary, that are not necessarily affecting the people immediately. You get it? So if those money are diverted to improving the lives of people, you get it, then we can now say that the demands of the protest is achievable within a very short period of time.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Victor Lijofi, political activist and unionist. Thank you very much for coming on Western Spring News at 7.
It's a pleasure.
Right, thank you. All right, I have been speaking with a political activist and a unionist, Mr. Victor Lijofi,